When I was little, I had a reoccurring nightmare. I was sitting on the ledge of a clock tower in London. A little girl sat beside me as we looked over the city and crowds of people walking below on the streets. Suddenly, the little girl started to laugh and lowered herself past the ledge, kicking the clock's ticker. The hour and minute hands began to spin faster and faster. In the blink of an eye, the people on the street sped up, and the city transformed into a time lapse. The girl continued to laugh as I started to feel dizzy, wanting everything to slow down again. It felt like time was speeding up to the point where there would be no time left. While I don't remember every detail of my childhood, the memory of that nightmare haunts me. I started to look away whenever I saw time lapses, and to this day, 20 years later, I still can't watch them. As I grow older, I fear that my childhood nightmare symbolizes how our world is becoming, fast-paced and sped up.
Haida Gwaii is an archipelago. It's located on the west coast of northern British Columbia. It is a very rainy place, and it's a very beautiful place.
How would you explain Haida Gwaii to someone who doesn't know where that is yet?
Take a spit from Alaska. Just spit in the ocean and you'll hit Haida Gwaii. That's how close we are.
Like you can almost see the world bending from this point.
Yeah, you really wouldn't know there's anything else out there.
So what is island time to you?
Well, there's something about being surrounded by like a body of water that just slows us down. As like a writer and a romantic person, like I think it's quite a beautiful thing.
Yeah, island time is definitely an interesting concept.
Mm-hmm. How would you describe island time to people?
I think it's slower. You're at the mercy of the ferry and the weather and all these different things. I think that lack of control like kind of makes people a little bit chiller. They're like, I never have control, so why should I be a timer? You know?
So do you think island time is like a real thing that you find here? It's different than the
Well, I
mainland?
couldn't dispute it, but I'm not sure where it really works. It might be an excuse to be late, but like, how come island time is never early? Like, how come you're 2 hours early, I'm on island time.
Island time is, for me, it's very much influenced by nature and the spaciousness we get to experience here. Being surrounded by water, living on a little island, even though everyone here lives on an island, and some of us are living on small islands. I can't just hop on my bike or hop in the car to do my groceries. No, I always have the tide to navigate.
So time is, I mean, it's a joke to everybody, but then when you're waiting for people that are late, it's no joke.
So maybe island time is just an excuse to be late, but everyone seems to think it's something that's real.
Yeah. But it still feels like time's speeding up. I just want to slow it down again. I want to slow down time.
Like when we were kids.
As we age, our individual perception of time speeds up. When you're 10 years old, 1 year is a tenth of your life. But when you're 40 years old, it's 1/40th. And the relative experience of 1 year shifts as you gain more years beneath your belt. It can feel like the time that you have is running out or it's speeding up. The summers of your childhood felt so long, but now they feel so short because we have jobs and 9-to-5s and daily life. You know, you're washing the dishes again, you're making the same meal again, you're going to the same office job, and your brain doesn't choose to save those memories. It's miscellaneous information.
Yeah, I was thinking about my childhood, and for me, it felt like it was forever. And then time started speeding up, and I thought about why is that happening? And I felt like I was doing more things for future outcomes than the present moment. And things felt like they accelerated, and then into adulthood where I'm scheduled, I'm booked, I've got reservations, you know, all the mental constructs of time.
Do you feel it's important to try to slow down the time that you have?
Not so much. Not so much. I think it's more important for me to love while I'm here and do what positive things I can do for those around me. I have had moments where time stood still in meditation. I've also had moments when time stood still mountain climbing. And I think that's one of the things that I really loved about mountain climbing is that it totally demanded my full 100% attention. Because if I didn't pay attention, I could fall and die. So I love that about mountain climbing.
Whoa, look behind you.
Oh!
Whoa! Whoa!
Time is such a weird, reference point.
There's a million ways we could go with it.
Yeah. But to, focus on time is... I've never really liked it. I always like being more present.
Yeah, same.
So, to really focus on time is making me have a different experience with it. Change my relationship to time.
Yeah, I'm finding that change too in the last few months.
It's only good to be taught to slow down. It can only be a good thing. Because it's hard raising a kid. We're going to be building a house soon. We're going to be doing so much, and there's a lot on our shoulders. So we both do find that, like, me and John want to just dissociate and like make time pass faster because we're stressed, because you don't want to feel that stress. You just want it to be gone. We've been on our phones a lot and watching TV and stuff, and we're trying to stop that now because we realized how much time is wasted. Oh, no. You're gonna get a soaker. Like, this technology just, it's making us try and escape the world, which is just making everything pass so quickly.
So what would you say to someone that wants to slow down time?
Well, honestly, Ellen, I would have to invent something, some kind of lie to tell you that I'd have a way of doing that. I really don't have a way of doing that, because as you get older, time does accelerate. So, like, we'd all like to slow it down, but I don't know if there's a way of actually slowing it down.
Do you think like time matters to more people than others?
Oh yeah. There's some people like looking at their clock all the time. They got a big watch. I haven't worn a watch in, I don't know, 25, 30 years maybe. So maybe I should be later for stuff. Now that I notice. But there was times in my life, honestly, like I didn't even know what year it was. I'd have to ask the person what year it was. But those were different times in my life.
Before you have kids, you don't realize how much time you have. And then you have kids, you realize how much time you had before. So motherhood has kind of caused me to zoom in on time and like look at all the minuscule little moments. And because I watched him, you know, grow from nothing into this. And everything kind of happens at its own pace. You can't really force it.
When you were pregnant, did it feel like 9 months?
It felt like an eternity. And now it's, to be honest, like it's weird. Like his life and pregnancy and all that, like it does feel like an entire lifetime. In that way I feel connected to him, you know? But then it, like, you're probably talking to some elders and it probably just feels like a second watching all these people grow up.
I'm 80 years old now, and I can lay around whenever I want to, and I'm just loving it. I'm really enjoying it, you know? I worked hard for this, because I raised 7 children, and I had to run around doing things in a hurry. Now I don't. I'm pacing myself. Mm-hmm. The reason why I say 7 children is I had to raise my husband too. Before I used to just get up, jump around, and the day would go really fast. Now I don't do that. I take my time doing things, and I'm enjoying it more. I'm enjoying the daylight more than I did before. Before nighttime used to come too fast for me, but now it's okay.
I go to bed between 8 and 10 and get up between 2 and 4. Go to work. I guess I'm getting at that point now where I just do on my time. Like carving's my time. I don't want a deadline. I want to do it. I want to enjoy it now instead of deadlines. And I figure I'll be 70, maybe I have a good 20 years left. So let's use it properly. Because I remember when my dad was young, he said, let's just work on this to kill time. And I always wonder why then you finish it and then you go sit and do nothing. They always say if your life is going really fast and it's always a good life, it's when there's disaster, it starts to slow down. Because it feels like it takes forever to get through that part. I just want to enjoy it. I mean, just enjoy it. Enjoy the rest of my life. What the hell, you know? When my parents died, I inherited some of their photo albums and nobody ever looked at them, and I decided not to put windows in my studio. So I put all these pictures up from the albums. Somebody kind of said, you know, this is the history of your life. And it's a good journey. I love my journey. Somebody said, you have a good life? I said, no, I don't. I have a hard time just like everybody else, but I embrace the good things.
I really love Reg's dedication to his work. His pulse, his art really shows that. Shows his love in this time.
Yeah, I don't know why I had that dream, but it's probably something everyone can kind of relate to.
Yeah, I guess it's like, maybe reminds people of mortality. Maybe that's where your anxiety comes from.
Yeah, I think that is the anxiety, actually. Maybe my fear isn't about time passing, but about people passing. And that's why I'm afraid of time, because it will take away everything I love.
Give Benson a big kiss and a hug.
So what is it about time that you're actually afraid of?
I think what it really comes down to is my fear of death. And the more time passes, the closer everyone will go to losing the people that they know and their friends and family. And
Father K.
is, yeah, the loss of everything I love.
Marvelous. Best spot ever. Nicest beach I've seen for a long time.
When I moved here in 2001, I focused on figurative art. I moved from Holland. It took me another year of living here full-time in Giets for nature to open itself to me. I stood on this beach and I just realized, like, art, it's such a gift. It's such a gift. And why am I not using that gift more? I wondered, how can I create time? Well, when we become aware and that we actually have a choice and that there's either tools or ways to slow down time, which we can find ways to slow down time, but first we have to become aware. For me, the act of painting felt soothing to my soul. I needed to be able to just paint. My art became just abstract and working with color and energy in the moment. Well, as my children grew, I felt the desire to, I had more and more time to be with my art. I had the luxury of saying, well, what do I want to create and how do I want to create? And so the sacred geometry came in as a transition, and it slowed me down. It slowed down time.
So what are ways we can slow down time?
I think stargazing for me has really helped me understand my place on Earth. We spend so much of our night times sleeping and dreaming and doing repetitive, restful activities that time often slips away from us. But by stargazing and going out at night and doing something kind of uncomfortable in the cold, I'm utilizing that time that might otherwise be spent unconscious. I don't want my time to run away from me. I don't want to miss those starry nights. The advice I'd give to someone who thinks that their days are just passing them by is the advice that someone gave to me. The way we experience time is through memories. We look back on our memories to think about things in the past and the amount of time that we have. Our brain is recording so many details, and it inscribes those into our memories. And so by traveling and doing new things out of your regular routine, we can lengthen our experience of time.
Within your life, do you feel like it's going by quick? Or do you find you can slow it down? Because we live on Haida Gwaii.
I tell myself not to hurry, it will wait, it can wait. Because when I'm like making jam or something like that, look at the time, hurry, 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 you know? I think to myself, why am I doing that? I got nowhere to go. I'm enjoying, let's enjoy this. So that's how I slow myself down when I'm doing things. I'm enjoying it now, you know? I feel that there's so much hurt and heartache within our community and within myself too. The only way I feel I can heal myself in a better light is by making even myself laugh. I laugh at myself all the time. And I enjoy making other people happy. It heals their body, their soul, their mind. I am lots of fun.
Yes, you are. I've been enjoying this.
So I wonder if someone is feeling like time is flying by, we have to find something that resonates, like to help us create a bit more spaciousness. And one of the easiest ways, well, and the hardest ways, interestingly, is focusing on the breath. Can you be aware of how you're breathing? What is your breathing like? Are we breathing? And often when we feel rushed, the breath is right at the top of the chest. Can you bring your breath to your belly? Can you make that connection in that moment, you know? And you can use your hands even, like I find that's very helpful.
Throughout this winter, we've learned how to be more intentional with the time we have and whether or not we can slow it down. But like what Dean said, it's more important to enjoy the time we have rather than trying to make more time by slowing it down.
What is quality time to you? If you'd like to say that.
It's just this. I go spend time with my grandkids or my friends. I always believe my friends are the ones that make my world.
I think quality time is when I'm kinder, when my thoughts are more generous. Like say watching the kids and just thinking, oh my God, they're so wonderful. Like that's real quality time to me. Just sitting in the boat and, you know, or just having a tea on the porch or watching the moon come up. Just sort of simple, little simple things. But I think basically, if my mind's not too busy.
What would be your advice to someone who feels like their time's flying by?
I always try to let them know that I care for them. The reason why I'm sitting here talking to you is because I care for you. You're the one that has to know how you feel. I can contribute to your feelings, but you're the only one that can stop those feelings from getting out of hand. And if you can do that, you're another good person to go out into this world.
How, that's beautiful.
Oh,
I care about you too.
I care about you too.
They say that time heals all wounds. A broken heart, a fractured bone, illness, grief, regret. As much as I want to escape time, I'm also grateful for it. It encapsulates all that I have. I no longer fear time passing quickly because I understand it now. I was searching for something that was right in front of me this whole time. We can slow down our time by making new memories or learning something new, by enjoying the people in our lives, by coming back to our breath. It's not about making more time, but enjoying the time that we have.
Yeah, it's been time well spent.
Yeah.